And I found this story in my drawer. And I thought it was a really good story. So I sent it off to some publishers to see if they would publish it. And I was really lucky because that story that I wrote to make my little cousins laugh one Christmas day, one Christmas Eve I wrote it, to make them laugh on Christmas Day, that became my first ever book, which I'm about to advertise to the nation. It's even better than stick. Because with stick, you can throw it. And you wave it, and you can pick it up, and you can throw it. But with book, you can read it. And this is my first book, and it's called You're a Bad Man, Mr. Gum. And You're a Bad Man, Mr. Gum, like all other books, is very good because it has letters in it. And the letters make up these things called words. And the words combine to make sentences. The sentences all clump together into larger units called paragraphs. The paragraphs build up into wonderful things called chapters. And the chapters together make a whole book that goes in from the page, through your eyes, into your brain, and then when you're sleeping that night, all the words dribble out of your nose. And when you wake up in the morning, oh, there they all are, scattered all over the pillow. And that's what's great about books. Not only is this a book, You're a Bad Man, Mr. Gum, my first book, it is an award-winning book. Let's do that with some enthusiasm. It's an award-winning book. No, too late. It just sounds sarcastic now. In 2007, this book, You're a Bad Man, Mr. Gum, won an amazing award called the Red House Children's Book of the Year Award. Some incredible other authors have won that book before, have won that award before me. Who else has won that award before me? J.K. Rowling, Jacqueline Wilson, Roald Dahl, TMP Prendergast. No, I just made him up. Now, I was very lucky. I won that award in 2007. So I am an award-winning author. I'm very handsome and award-winning. And I own a massive golden palace in the sky. Actually, I'm not that rich, and I still can't afford a haircut. But never mind. I thought I would read to you from my award-winning book. Oh, would you really do that? Yeah. Yes, I would. That wasn't me just doing a voice. Oh, you're so great. Would you read? Yes, of course I will. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to read a bit where Polly, the little girl with the long name, has just found out that Jake the dog is in trouble because the baddie, Mr. Gum, is going to do something nasty to him. And Polly has to go and find Jake the dog and get him out of trouble. Are you ready? Goes a little bit sort of something like this. Polly went racing down the hill like a runaway marble, determined to find Jake the dog before he fell victim to Mr. Gum's evil scheme. She ran past a dustbin filled with rubbish, and then another one filled with rubbish, and another one filled with rubbish, and another one filled with princesses. Polly thought. There was something unusual about one of those dustbins, but she had to keep on running. She ran past big trees, tiny little trees, and tiny, tiny little trees so small they were more like pebbles. In fact, they were pebbles. She ran past a cat's ears, which were lying on the pavement, and a cat's nose and whiskers, which were lying on the pavement, and a cat's body and tail and legs and eyes and claws, which were lying. In fact, it was all just one cat lying on the pavement. She ran like the wind. Then she got a bit tired and just walked like a breeze. But she soon sped up again because she was determined to save that tremendous dog. It was only after Polly had been running for about half an hour that she remembered something quite important. She had absolutely no idea where Jake the dog lived. And what's more, she was no longer in the little town of Lamonic Bibber. Polly had come to the woods on the edge of town, and they were big and scary and full of shadows. The ancient trees looked down from on high, stern and forbidding. We're the trees, they seemed to whisper. You are not welcome in this place. We're the trees. A cold wind blew, making Polly shiver, and she was certain one of the flowers was snarling at her. Oh no, she cried, sitting down on one of those massive toadstools you sometimes get in spooky woods. I don't know where I am, and that old Jake's facing the biggest challenge of his doggy life, and I doesn't know where to find him, and that flower's probably going to eat me. And with that, poor Polly burst into tears. Oh. So if you want to know what happens in the rest of that book, you have to read it, or maybe you've read it before, you can read it again. Books are good like that. You can use them as many times as you like, and they never get worn out. Sometimes the pages fall out, but I can't be held responsible for that. That's not my end of the deal. Good. Excuse me. Well, that's a little bit about writing and how I came to write. So you've all been lovely children. Thank you very much for listening. Soon you will be horrible teenagers, but I can't be held responsible for that either. And I think we're going to have some questions in a minute, but thank you for now.